Hello, and this is Samantha here from RecipeThis.com and the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today I want to show you, using my veggie box and using the meat that I got from the butchers, how to make a delicious Sunday pork roast. We're going to be using the pork leg joint that we got from the butchers. Some of the swede, some carrot, apple because it goes brilliantly with the pork, and then I've got some seasonings in here. I've got some mixed herbs, some parsley, some salt and pepper, extra virgin olive oil, and then I'm also clearing out the freezer. So I've got some old pigs in blankets that I paid next to nothing for in the post-Christmas sales, and I've also got some stuffing mix here as well. So it's going to be a brilliant yellow sticker come meat and vegetables meal, and it's just great for dumping in the air fryer on a Sunday for a nice Sunday dinner. So to start with, I recommend you do your prep, because then it can just be in a bowl waiting and go into the air fryer at the correct time. So my swede is huge. I'm not going to use all the swede in this recipe. So, but we can prep it now, can't we? So for my veggie box, that is a really big size swede. So I'm going to keep the rest of this swede for another recipe, so that's going to go to one side. I just wanted a small portion that can be used for this recipe. So once you've done that, you want to have a bowl ready to go. So that's my bowl with my swede. And then same again with the carrots. And then once you've done your carrots, it's up to you how you chop the carrots. I recommend on the diagonal because it's then easier for them to cook in the air fryer. And then load them in there as well. And then potato. Right, what we're going to do here is we're going to do something different, because I'm going to be saving this potato skin for another recipe. This potato recipe, I would normally use the Instant Pot and make some vegetable stock, but I'm going exclusive with the air fryer for this challenge, just to show what you can actually make in the air fryer with these various veggies and meat and stuff. So that's my peelings there, so I'm just going to put those to one side. And then this is the large potato that we've got that we can use in this recipe. So it's quite a large potato, so I'm going to do it into 8s. And then that's the potato in there, and then all that's left now is the apple. It's totally up to you whether you go skin on, skin off, but I think this apple is just gorgeous and shiny, so I'm going to keep the skin on it. An apple with pork is absolutely delicious, and apples cook brilliantly in the air fryer with your other veggies. So load up your apple. And this is also brilliant, so if you're doing a pork roast and you've got some apples that need using up in the fruit bowl, it's a brilliant way to make use of them. And then once you've done that, that's all your veggies and obviously your apple in there. You see them all there, you've got quite a good bowl there, considering we haven't actually used that much, and we've still got the swede left, well, most of it. And we've also got the potato peelings. And of course, don't forget to follow us along. This is all about our special week of shopping local. And a big thank you to Smith's Butchers and to Rafters for supplying such amazing fruit and vegetables to us over the last few years since we started Recipe This in England. It's just been great, the kind of stuff we've got from them. And then last but not least, some extra virgin olive oil. About a tablespoon is fine. And then good mix with your hands until everything's well mixed and you've got that lovely colour of green from the parsley. And then that's ready to put to one side, and then we can get the pork on. So now that we've prepared the sides that are going to be going with the pork roast, we're just left with the pork roast itself. So this is the one we have from the butcher's. It's a boneless pork leg joint. I asked the butchers what's the cheapest that we can do if you want to save money, and they said to us pork leg. I mean, have a look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic? So then, for preparing it for the air fryer, what I recommend is a little bit of oil, because then it works as your glue and then your seasonings will stick to the oil, so it just makes it so much easier to cook in the air fryer. So just add a little bit of oil on top. And then salt and pepper. And then I've also added in a little bit of basil. And then it's ready for the air fryer. So then, pull out your air fryer basket, and then just have to pop in your pork leg joint like that, and make sure that it fits your air fryer basket. And then place it in, and then you're looking for a temperature of 160 Celsius, that's 320 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 10 minutes to get it started. We've beeped. So the pork leg joint has done 10 minutes now, and now we're going to add in the potatoes and the other veggies. And wow, it's already looking fantastic. Oh, it smells good. It's nice because it's had a good head start now, so that we can add in the other ingredients. So grab your bowl of what you've already prepared and then find some gaps for it. The pork leg joint isn't as big as some other roasting joints that we've done in the air fryer, so there's plenty of room for everything to fit, so you can spread it out a bit more compared to usually, because usually I do a joint that's like 1.5 kilos, and this is about 1 kilo, so it's not quite as big. So like I say, spread it out, make sure there's room for everything, and then you can put it back on. So place the air fryer back in, and then we're going to go with a cook time of 20 minutes and a temperature of 180 Celsius, and then press start, and then we can check on the potatoes and see if they need turning. And we've beeped. So now we're going to check, see how the pork's doing and see how the potatoes and veggies are doing, just to see how far along we are with this recipe. So, jumping the air fryer up. Oh, wow, I love the golden colour the pork has already got on it. And you can tell the potatoes and stuff are on the way because they've shrunk a little bit, and you've got a lovely brown colour going on there on the potatoes. So let me give you a closer look. And now let's do a fork test and see how well the potatoes and everything's doing. So fork tender, but not what I would call crispy. This one's a lot crispier though, as you can see. I think it's the position that it's got in the air fryer. Let's check on something else, shall we? Carrots. Wonderfully soft. I don't have to worry about the apples because they're so small. And some of these potatoes and things look like they could do with an extra browning on them. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just put it on for another 10 minutes. But this time I'm going to swap out and remove the vegetables and swap it for the stuffing balls. So what I recommend you do first is take the meat out because it's easier to move it about then. And then grab all these, load them onto a plate, because then these can be finished off and crisped up on their own. Those apples don't want to move. And now you can put your meat back in. So much easier to do it like this. And then we've got these ready, and it's just the potatoes that could do with an extra crisp up. And then you can start adding in your extras and cooking your meat a little bit. So these are some pigs in blankets. And they were ridiculously cheap because we got them on the day that they were used by date on, just after Christmas, when the shops were selling off all their Christmas stuff that hadn't sold, and it was just a brilliant opportunity to grab some. So what I did is I got about 6 packs of these, and they've just been sat there in our freezer. So when I'm doing cheap roast dinners in the air fryer, I can just grab stuff from the freezer and use that. And then they've gone in there now. And then I've also got some pork and cranberry stuffing. I get this one rather than sage and onion because Chef Dom is actually allergic to sage. And it's just brilliant because you can get it in a slab like this, and then you can make it into your own stuffing balls, or you can just have it whole. So if you just make it into some big ones like that, or you can half them and make them to a normal size. I got told off when I was making our cookbook because my balls were too big, but I absolutely love big stuffing balls, so it's totally up to you what kind of size you like. I think I remeasured them and I think mine were about, I think I made 8, but I think on the shoot they turned them into 16, so it depends what size you like. You know, the greatest thing is though that you can start off with your mixture. You can reduce your size down to however many you want to do. So let's say if you've got to get 20 out of them, you could just do them much smaller like this. And as you can see, there are different sizes, but it's good because your pork, it still hasn't reached its internal temperature, so we've got a bit longer yet. So there we go, that's your stuffing balls. Using leftovers from the freezer, of course, and now it's ready for the pork to go back on. So let me give you a closer look. So you've got the pigs in blankets, and you've got the stuffing balls and the pork all going back in together. And then we're looking for a temperature of 180 Celsius, that's 360 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 10 minutes. And then press start. And then we're looking for a temperature of 180 Celsius, that's 360 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 10 minutes. And then press start. And we've beeped. So what we've done is we've given the pork another 5 minutes. So now the stuffing balls and the pigs in blankets would have done 15 minutes. And then we can check on the pork. The pork's reading an internal temperature of about 56 at the moment, so it's not quite there, but neither are the potatoes. Remember, we needed an extra crisp on the potatoes. So now's a good time to be moving it about. So let's just move the pork to one side for a second. And we can have a look at these stuffing balls and the pigs in blankets. And the pigs in blankets are getting a lovely crisp on them. The only ones that haven't got a crisp on are the ones that have ended up under the pork, but these are still cooked at this point. So I'm going to move the pork plate, and then we can transfer all of these out. So of course, because they're not proper stuffing balls and we've just wrapped up, made them into little balls, you know, some of them have broken away, but it really doesn't matter at this point. So now these can go to one side, and then the pork roast back in, and then because this has had a chance to cool, I can just use my hands here, and it's just the potatoes that are really, really under. They're cooked, but they're just not crispy, and all that fattiness from the pork will make them lovely and crispy. And of course you can do the carrots now as well, but the carrots will end up overcooked if they go on for any longer. So what you could do is, if you want these warming back up again, you could just give them a minute or two in the air fryer. So now, pork and the roast potatoes back on. Turn the air fryer around, and then you're looking for 10 minutes at 180, and then press start. And we've beeped. So let's check on our pork roast. Wow, isn't that brilliant? Perfectly cooked pork roast in the air fryer. And then of course you can use whatever you've got to hand to get the pork out the air fryer. I'm just using a knife. And then once you've done this, check on those potatoes. And as you can see, they've got a much better crisp on them this time. So we can just load them up on there, like that. Though beware, when you're doing pork in the air fryer, you know, it carries quite a bit of fat, so you will have quite a lot of fat in the bottom of the air fryer. What you can do is you can pour this, put it through a mesh strainer, and you've got pork gravy. And then we also have what we made earlier. So now, as well as the pork and the roasties, you've also got the carrots and the apple and the other veggies in here. And then of course your pigs in blankets and your stuffing. So now you've got, oops, lost a carrot, the pork, the roast potatoes, the vegetables, the pigs in blankets and the stuffing. And of course you can mix and match your meats. This has been done as part of our Saving Money Challenge and Shopping Local. But of course you could do the same thing if you wanted to with beef, chicken, lamb, any different meat cut. A rump roast is also nice done like this. And if you head over to recipethis.com, we've got so many different roast dinners in there. For the air fryer, you can search for air fried beef, air fried chicken, air fried pork, even air fried duck if you like your duck. And of course, our personal favourite in the air fryer gammon. And of course, I cannot wait to tuck in. It just looks so nice. Right, let's start with some apple, shall we? The apple is so nice. And then of course, if you love pigs in blankets, they just cook perfectly in there. That's so nice. And if you love roast potatoes, just look at the crisp that you get on that. And of course, this is very easy to do in the air fryer. Put the meat in the centre, give it a head start, start adding in all your sides, and then by the time the pork is cooked, all your sides are cooked as well, and you can plate it up for an easy Sunday dinner in the air fryer. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.